South London isn't just seeing one big project, it's seeing a full-scale reset, from the £4 billion transformation at Canada Water to major housing rebuilds in Merton, Lambeth and Southwark, and over £280 million going into sport at Crystal Palace FC and the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre. This is a long-term investment running well into the 2030s. We're talking about thousands of new homes, upgraded public spaces and new jobs, better transport access and modern community facilities. The big question is not whether money is being spent, it's whether all of this genuinely reshapes South London for the better. The Canada Water Masterplan is a long-term £4 billion plus regeneration scheme in Rotherhithe, South London, led by British Land in a 50-50 joint venture with Australian Super and delivered with Southwark Council to create a new urban town centre on a 53-acre former dockland site, the first of its kind in London in around 50 years. By transforming the area around Canada Water and Surrey Quays into a mixed-use neighbourhood with shops, parks, homes, jobs and public life. Planning permission was granted back in 2020 and construction began in 2021, with the project expected to take around 10 to 15 years to complete, potentially into the mid-2030s. The master plan will deliver around 3,000 new homes, including affordable housing, and approximately 2 million square foot of sustainable workspace supporting up to 20,000 jobs and around 1 million square foot of retail, leisure, culture and community space, alongside a new high street and town square, 16 streets and around 12 acres of open space and parks. Early phases are well underway. The new Canada Water Leisure Centre has opened with pools, gyms and studios. A 170 metre broad walk called Rafter Walk around the dock has been completed, and new leisure and food destinations such as Corner Corner are operating, while workspace and apartments including the 35-storey tower The Founding are under construction. Transport upgrades are also coming, including a new step-free entrance at Surrey Quays Station due in 2026 to improve accessibility. The scheme emphasises sustainability with zero-carbon homes and BREEAM-accredited buildings. Extensive public realm, cycle routes, green spaces and initiatives connecting local residents to jobs, skills opportunities, although the evolution of detailed plans, including the level of affordable housing, has generated some controversy and community debate during its phased delivery. The Canada Water Regeneration is easily one of the biggest things happening in South London right now. We're talking about £4 billion transformation, turning old dockland land into a brand new town centre with thousands of homes, huge office space, shops and proper public areas. Construction started in 2021 and this is going to run well into the 2030s, so it's not a quick fix, it's a long rebuild. You've already got the new leisure centre open and more towers going up, but the big question is whether this really becomes a place that feels like a proper community or just another shiny development. For me, this is the type of project that could completely change this side of London if delivered properly. The Crystal Palace Selhurst Park upgrade is finally moving forward after years of delay, with plans to replace the current main stand with a new 3-tier structure that will increase capacity from around 25,000 to over 34,000 seats. Originally approved in 2018, the project stalled due to COVID, rising construction costs and land negotiations, but updated approvals were confirmed back in 2024, and major demolition and construction are now scheduled to begin in January 2026. The development is expected to take around 2 to 2.5 years, meaning completion is likely in late 2027 or early 2028, with the total cost now estimated at more than £150 million, partly funded by the £125 million loan. Alongside this, the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre is undergoing a separate £130 million regeneration led by the Greater London Authority, aiming to restore and modernise the Grade 2 listed 1964 complex, including rebuilding the swimming and diving pools, upgrading the athletics facility and improving sustainability. Plans were announced back in 2023, a main contractor was appointed in 2025, and major construction is expected to ramp up in late 2026 with completion targeted for 2028, marking one of the largest sports infrastructure investments in South London in decades. So right now in South London you've got two big projects happening around Crystal Palace, and both of them feel long overdue. The Crystal Palace Selhurst Park expansion is finally set to start proper construction in 2026, pushing capacity well beyond 34,000 and modernising a stadium that hasn't really changed in decades. It's going to cost over £150 million and should be finished around 2028 if everything stays on track. At the same time, the Crystal Palace National Sports Centre is getting a £130 million refurbishment, with major works expected from 2026 completing in 2028. For me, this isn't about football or athletics. It's about South London finally getting investment in facilities that actually match the size and passion of the community. The Clapham Park regeneration in the London Borough of Lambeth is one of the largest estate renewal projects in South London, led by Metropolitan Thames Valley Housing in partnership with the Vistry Group. The long-term programme will deliver around 4,000 new and refurbished homes, with more than half classed as affordable housing, replacing older post-war buildings with modern apartments, improved streets and greener public spaces. The regeneration is being delivered in phases running from the early 2020s all the way through to 2035, with over 1,500 homes already completed and more than 2,500 additional homes planned between now and 2035. Phase 2, which includes around 500 homes, is due for completion in early 2026, while Phase 3, delivering more than 300 homes including a large proportion of affordable units, begins handovers this year. Alongside housing, the scheme includes new parks, retail space, community facilities and a low carbon district heating network, backed by significant funding commitments including at least £53 million for shared ownership homes, making it one of Lambeth's most sustainable long-term housing investments. Clapham Park is one of those long-term South regenerations that doesn't get the headlines, but is actually massive. Over the next decade, this area is being rebuilt with over 4,000 new refurbished homes, a lot of them being affordable, and construction to keep going all the way to 2035. Phases are already completing and more homes are landing in 2026, so this just isn't talk, it's actually happening. The real question is whether this genuinely feels like a better neighbourhood when it's done, not just newer buildings. If they get the balance right between housing, green space and proper community facilities, this could quietly become one of South London's biggest success stories. The £1 billion plus Merton Regeneration scheme is one of the biggest long-term housing transformations in the London Borough of Merton, led by Clarion Housing Group and focused on redeveloping the estates of Highpath, Eastfields and Ravensbury. The programme, valued roughly at £1 to £1.3 billion, will deliver between 2,800 and 3,300 new homes, replacing around 1,000 older properties and adding more than 1,800 additional homes across 3 neighbourhoods. Alongside this, new public spaces, commercial units, community facilities and environmental upgrades such as district heating and improved green areas. Outline planning permission was secured back in 2019, with compulsory purchase orders progressing through the early 2020s to enable phased development. Major construction began at Eastfields in January 2024, marking a key delivery milestone, and further phases across Highpath and Ravensbury are continuing throughout the 2020s. The regeneration is expected to run well into the 2030s, with demolition, rebuild and resident housing taking place in stages as the 3 estates are gradually transformed into higher density, mixed tenure communities. So Merton has this £1 billion regeneration happening across Highpath, Eastfield and Ravensbury, and it's one of those projects that's quietly massive. They're replacing older estates with thousands of new homes, with construction properly kicking off in 2024, and this is going to run well into early 2030s. It won't be a quick rebuild, it'll be more of a long-phase transformation. The big thing isn't the number of homes, it's whether this genuinely improves the life of the residents who lived there for years. If the rehousing is handled properly and the new spaces actually feel usable, this could completely reset parts of Merton that have needed investment for a long time. The Aylesbury East Regeneration in Walworth is one of the largest estate redevelopments in London. This is being led by Southwark Council in partnership with Notting Hill Genesis, and will replace around 2,700 aging homes with approximately 4,000 new homes, around half of which are planned to be affordable. The 28-hectare scheme is being delivered in 4 phases, with rehousing and demolition beginning back in the 2010s. Phase 3 homes coming forward from the late 2024 and running well into 2027, with the final phase expected to extend into the mid-2030s, potentially completing around 2036. the council has already spent hundreds of millions of pounds on land assembly, rehousing and early construction works as the long-term rebuild progresses. Meanwhile, the Achilles Street Estate Regeneration in New Cross is a £125 million council-led scheme approved back in December 2025 by the London Borough of Lewisham, delivering up to 278 new homes with around 60% affordable housing. They're also including commercial space, public realm improvements near Clapham Park, and construction is expected to move through the late 2020s with a completion date of 2033, following a strong resident ballot back in 2019. So when you look at Aylesbury and Achilles Street, this is a proper long-term regeneration in South London. Aylesbury is a huge rebuild that's been going on for years, and it will run on for another 15, replacing thousands of old homes with new mixed tenure housing, and the council has already spent hundreds of millions getting this far. Then you've got Achilles Street in New Cross, a £125 million scheme delivering up to 300 homes with a strong affordable focus, aiming to finish again in 2033. For me, these projects aren't flashy skyline stuff, but they're about existing communities actually benefiting from the investment. The real test will be if the residents feel better off at the end of it, not just surrounded by newer big buildings. When you step back and look at all of this together, it's clear South London is going through one of the biggest rebuilding phases in decades. Canada Water is creating a brand new town centre, Crystal Palace is getting a long overdue sporting investment, and Clapham Park and Merton are rebuilding entire estates. And Aylesbury and Achilles Street are reshaping long-standing communities. If delivered properly, this means more homes, more jobs, better public space and stronger local economies across multiple boroughs. The real impact will be whether these projects connect properly, support existing residents and create neighbourhoods that actually work day to day. If they do, South London won't just look different by the mid-2030s, it will function differently, with more opportunity and better infrastructure than it has today. If you enjoyed this video and you want more videos just like this, make sure that you like the video, subscribe to my channel and comment your thoughts on these projects in the comments below. And if you want to check out more videos on my channel, start with these two next to me.